I want to pick up a story from the comment section from the man with no name 386, who says words are important, the system is to blame, optics are key, things you say regularly I find quite interesting. Anyway, will you be commenting on the current NIMBYism of the main parties whose councils are preparing to go to court to open up hotels as hotels? Isn't that as far reet as you can get? Well, I'm not quite sure what spirit that comment is in. I don't really care, frankly, because there is an interesting NIMBY-ish element about the asylum hotels problem, and there's a really great article this morning, or yesterday, I think, in the Telegraph about NIMBYism and about this being one of the great victories for NIMBYism. But when you use the word NIMBYism, not in my backyard, we usually mean local resistance is something that people admit is necessary in principle, but reject in practice when it's imposed near them. The classic cases are housing estates, new roads, incinerators or wind turbines. Few deny that society needs them, many insist that they should be built somewhere else. Now, this logic has extended into asylum accommodation. Councils from Epping to Crewe to Knowsley have gone to court to block hotels, and many more will, being used to house asylum seekers. Residents protest that schools are full, GP surgeries overstretched, and the local character under threat. In that sense, yes, asylum hotels are the latest manifestation of British NIMBYism. But the picture is not quite that so simple. The heart of the matter is not only resistance from residents, but the system that has created the hotel scheme, and the system needs to be changed. Private operators like Britannia Hotels, Clear Springs, Ready Homes, Serco and Mears have turned asylum accommodation into a profit machine, and the numbers are startling. Clear Springs made £119 million in a single year. Its founder now a billionaire because of asylum. Britannia posted £39 million profit in 2023. Individual hotel owners can receive £40 to £80 per room per night, often far more than they would have charged when the hotel was running as a real hotel, while the Home Office is billed £127 to £148 per head. So originally it would be 40 to 80, now it's 127 to 148 per head. This is outsourcing as profiteering. So when local councils go to court, are they simply NIMBYs, or are they resisting what they perceive as a stitch-up, where their towns are becoming dumping grounds, their planning powers undermined, and companies profit from human misery? The Epping Bell Hotel case is instructive. Justice Eyre accepted the council's argument that the hotel had undergone a material change of use, ceasing to be a hotel in any ordinary sense. And the injunction was granted not against asylum seekers, but against a misuse of planning law and an abuse of local consent. Tom Jones, in his article, has argued that this was the first great NIMBYism that has to be achieved. This is the first great thing NIMBYism has achieved. But I put it differently. NIMBYism is the language, the instinctive local resistance. The deeper issue is the failure of government to plan long-term housing and integration, and its reliance on quick contracts with private providers. This is all about the continuing effect of the error of Priti Patel and Suella Braverman, those dreadful Home Office ministers. Indeed, asylum hotels exemplify three failures at once. A planning failure imposed without consultation, skirting the Town and County Planning Act. A housing failure, asylum seekers housed in temporary hotels because of the chronic shortage of social housing and renting accommodation. And a moral failure, reducing vulnerable people to line items in corporate profit sheets. Yes, NIMBYism plays its part. Local protests can turn ugly, with rhetoric whipped up by Nigel Farage, and I'll come back to that later today, and others, stoking fear of young men assaulting our women. But if we stop at the NIMBY label, we miss the bigger scandal. The cynical outsourcing of a national responsibility to failing corporations, and the absence of a humane, coherent asylum strategy. So, to answer the question, asylum hotels are partly about NIMBYism, but more profoundly about broken governance. Local councils may be resistant, but it is not only a reflex of not in my backyard, it's also not in this way, not through this system, not with profiteers laughing all the way to the bank. In the end, this is not just a story of reluctant townsfolk, it's a story of government abdicating responsibility and allowing asylum to become a commercial racket. And that is why the asylum hotel issue matters, because it reveals how easily humanitarian duty can be obscured by bad contracts, bad planning, and bad faith.